Sounds good. Roman from Rise Overrun Vancouver here, and today I'm with
Weil and Amera.
Awesome. And what do you two do?
We're both in real estate. So we're realtors with Oakwyd Realty.
Amazing. And so, like right now, I'm sure everyone kind of questions real estate. Do you think right now is a good time for someone to become a real estate agent or get into real estate themselves?
Yeah, I mean, I always tell people who are interested in getting into the role of a real estate agent that they should set themselves up financially and also set them up with a support system. So I think as long as you have those two in play, then anytime's really a good time to join. The market's always hot here.
I love that answer. Anytime's a good time. So, what inspired you two to get into real estate?
I got into real estate because I was always working in the restaurant industry. I wanted to do a little bit of a transition. So again, I did some research and I wanted to see if it really lined up with my goals, which it did. And then later on, the more that I actually got into real estate, I realized that I really wanted to join. I mean, I really wanted to help the people in the Filipino community.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
Cool, cool,
just because I feel like, when you're coming from a different country, you get your Canadian citizenship, your PR card, you suddenly have questions, but you don't really know exactly who to speak to or who you're more
Yes.
comfortable with. So that's kind of why I got into it also.
That's amazing. And so, what inspired yourself?
So for me, it came down to being able to work a job where I could bring my own values to the table. And that's something that I really love about partnering up with Weil is we both had the same vision in mind for what we wanted to do, which is obviously helping people purchase their property, giving them confidence. And, from my own experience, like growing up, my parents had this kind of like story of working without a realtor, listed their home, and someone knocked on their door, introduced herself, and ended up listing the home for them and getting them quite a bit more for their property.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think there's a lot of value in being able to share that knowledge with people and I guess give them a little bit more confidence too.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And so you mentioned you guys are a team. So, and someone wants to work with you guys. They're not just working with one realtor, they get two.
They get two.
That's a strong benefit.
Stand out.
That's awesome. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Exactly. Yeah.
One quote I really like is like, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, build a team.
Exactly.
So,
That's
awesome.
what we did.
Awesome job. And so why would, now when it comes to the housing market, and if someone was interested in buying, why would anyone come to you two rather than anyone else?
But our team really is people first. And so for us, again, kind of what I was just saying is like, we really want to give people the confidence to make the right decisions for themselves. And as part of having a people first approach, we never push anything on anyone. I know, unfortunately, it's a little bit of an impression that agents do pressure into sales, purchases, etc. But we like to see ourselves more as being able to just inform, educate, and provide all the resources. And then when you're ready to negotiate, that's when we'll go hardball for you and kind of get the deal done.
I also think it's just using two people's experiences in two different perspectives that I think we can always come up with better solutions.
That's
So,
really a good
yeah.
point. I think to be the two that would make the whole process, because it can be very stressful when it comes to selling or buying, right? So I feel like you two would make that whole process more fun for sure. Now, if someone were out there on the market and they were interested or thinking about selling their property, do you two believe that now is a good time to sell?
So I always tell people it just depends on your situation. If someone's looking to make a unilateral move, meaning they're looking in the same price point, the same area, then it kind of doesn't really matter when you buy or sell because the market is going to be stable throughout. But if you're looking to move neighborhoods, you're looking to upsize, downsize. Again, we always have to have more of a conversation to get a little bit more context. The market is picking up right now, though. So we are sitting, we're sitting back in a seller's market. Last year, I would have told people to hold off in the kind of like summer, fall, and the winter seasons, just because home prices were really going down and it was, again, really sitting in the buyer's market. But we're back into the seller's market and we're in Vancouver and it looks like it's going to keep going up.
I love it. So you're really saying like this year is a lot better than last year. Like we're headed in a really good direction. And so
maybe around this time of the year.
around this
Yeah,
time, this
'Cause
time
last
of the
year
year.
in January was way different. I think it's really important to always just get your realtor to help guide you to see which neighbors are really hot or super active, because really that's how you would be able to know if it's a really good time to sell or if it's better to hold off a little bit.
So there's no really like generic answer. It really comes down to the details and things like that. So that's why you guys need to come see these two. Okay, now for buyers, is now a good time to be buying property?
I think that now is a good time to buy just because the prices of homes have dropped.
Yeah, I think also right now you have a lot of people waiting on the sidelines because of interest rates. People are anticipating that they're all going to drop quite a bit, and they may go down, but in reality, it's a great way to kind of break in while there's still less people, even though it's still competitive, you still have a lot of people waiting for that drop, which is going to drive housing prices probably up quite a bit.
Yeah, no kidding, actually.
Sometimes you'll see some corrections as well based on how everything is going, but for the most part in Vancouver, it's always just going to keep going up.
That's very true. And so for home buyers, what advice do you have for anyone looking to get into the market to purchase?
If you're interested in getting into the market, already get connected with us so that we're able to use our resources like our mortgage broker to help guide you and see what your pre-approval amount is. And then from there on, we'll help you find the neighborhood that you like, how many bedrooms, and all the other features that you'd like.
Perfect.
I would just say that you don't need to have a full picture when you start out. That's what we're here for. So just kind of reemphasizing, you're welcome to ask us all the questions. We'd be more than happy to help and share a lot of our resources as well. So.
And now for the real estate side or for the realtor side, for anyone that's been thinking about getting into real estate, what advice do you have for them?
So I always tell people it's like going back to school. So bear in mind, you're not just jumping into an already built business. You're not going to jump into, for a lot of people anyways, instant success. So in that, make sure you're accounting for your finances, just kind of what I was touching on earlier. It does cost a lot just to start up. So I'd ask another agent how much you should anticipate having up in your savings. If you're wanting a little bit of a smoother transition, join a real estate team. Or if you're wanting to, kind of push through that, I would say make sure you have a good mentor. At the end of the day, you're always going to need support, and join a great brokerage as well. So we're happy to get you in touch with our managing brokers.
That is awesome. Yeah. So you know who to connect with if you've been thinking about that yourself. That's cool. And what do you have to add?
Never be afraid of asking questions. There's always different platforms for you, like Instagram or just shooting a text message. And if you have any questions, just go right ahead and ask.
I love it. Don't be shy to ask questions. You two are amazing. Thank you so much for having me in. And you guys have been a pleasure. And you guys have given lots of great value. So again, I couldn't thank you two enough. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks for coming.